Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Veterans Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. LSU drops game to Wake Forest. Thanks to everybody who joined us for the post-game show last night. If you're here now and we're not here, we did a post-game show immediately after LSU and Wake Forest ended on the YouTube channel. So those of you on the YouTube channel, when we're done here, you can flip over to that. If you're on Facebook, you jump over to YouTube, catch the post-game show from last night if you're interested. Bummer. LSU loses to Wake Forest 3-2. You had some things transpire which were exactly what you needed to win a game like that against a team like that. You start with Ty Floyd, who was awesome for 5 innings. He struck out 10 in 5 innings. And had walked just 1 and had not allowed a run. And then in the 6th, everything changed in the 6th, man. The ump squeezed his zone. I know a lot of people, I'm not even looking yet. I know I'm going to see a ton about the umpire. And and I get it. I think in the 6th inning, the umpire changed his zone. And it was maddening whenever you're going at the pace that Floyd was, and then all of a sudden to get squeezed at that point of the game was disappointing. But you got what you needed out of Ty Floyd. He got you 5 scoreless innings. They booted a couple of balls. And that's not even including Trey Morgan's triple to left, which the left fielder had his glasses on his hat instead of his face, and so the ball went to the wall. Because that was ruled a triple, not an error. So, boy, you had some opportunities. You had 1st and 3rd with nobody out in the 8th after they kicked a roller to short, or 2nd, I guess. You got Josh Hartle out of the game after 6. You held a really good offense to just 5 hits in the ball game. You had a lot go your way. Like, if you had told me before the game, hey, Matt, Ty Floyd's going to go 5 innings and strike out 10. Hartle, you'll chase him after 6, and he'll be at 107 pitches after 6 innings. You limit them to 5 hits and they commit 2 errors. I'm going, we win. I would have thought absolutely LSU would have won that game. But that's why it's hard. It's hard to win in Omaha, and it's hard to beat good teams. And there's a reason Wake Forest has only lost 10 games all year, because they limited you to 5 hits, and then really your 2 scoring opportunities. And for those that watch a lot of Major League Baseball, and that game was very reminiscent of a Major League game, the level of play is just so high. Typically against an elite pitcher like that, typically, you'll have 2 rallies, 2 real opportunities. It's not to say you won't have guys on base or that, but like 2 real rallies, 2 real scoring opportunities. And you had it in the 3rd, and you came through with 2, and it could have been more. And you had Trey Morgan standing on 3rd with 2 outs, and Travinsky struck out. And then in the 8th, obviously, you had 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Beloso hits the grounder to 3rd, and Morgan gets thrown out at the plate. And then Dugas grounds into double play. So, and you walk the bases loaded in the 6th, and you hit a guy. I mean, you had 4 walks and a hit by pitch in 1 inning, and still only allowed 2 runs, which is pretty incredible. So, I mean, Jordan Thompson had a great double play that mitigated the damage. Obviously, he took the grounder himself, took second base himself, and threw the runner out at first, but run scored that play. Anyway, so he had a huge strikeout by Thatcher Hurd with the bases loaded. So it's a bummer, man. So LSU goes forward today. They'll play Tennessee tonight, 6 o'clock. And you're going to face Drew Beam, who's awesome. I mean, he was the SEC Freshman of the Year last year. He's been part of their rotation now for 2 seasons. LSU did face Drew Beam back in the weekend series in Baton Rouge. If you remember, that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he pitched Game 3 Saturday, which was an early start, like a noon start. But if you remember what happened, LSU gave up 6 in the first, 4 in the second. Thatcher Hurd started that game and didn't record an out, gave up 6 runs. But LSU got to Beam and touched him up for 6 runs and 8 hits in 4 innings. So LSU hit Beam pretty well in Baton Rouge. Big question is, what does LSU do on the mound today? And my guess is, Jay's going to go with whoever he trusts the most to get them the most outs with the least amount of damage. And my guess is that's going to be Riley Cooper. I think Cooper and Guidry are your 2 best arms available. And in whatever order, if it's Cooper then Guidry or Guidry then Cooper, I think those are the guys you're going to today to see how deep can you get me in the ballgame. And you hope your offense shows up in a big way. Now, if they do, and you eliminate Tennessee, then you got to come back and beat Wake Forest twice on Wednesday and Thursday. The probability of that happening is just almost non-existent, which is why we said all season this was a team that was going to have to come through the winner's bracket because they weren't built to come through the loser's bracket. As you saw with all the arms Wake Forest had, that's a team that can come through a loser's bracket. Tennessee can come through a loser's bracket. But, boy, it'll be a real challenge for LSU. So, anyway, okay, y'all. We'll say some good mornings here. Disappointing day, no doubt. But got to get up and go play another one today. And if you need the motivation, any motivation, you can end Tennessee's season. And that would be a lot of fun. So, Craig Duga, 2 great teams, 1 bad ump. He wasn't bad for the whole game. He was bad in the 6th inning for sure. He was really bad in the 6th inning. And in my opinion, I said this on the post game last night, but I think he got fed up with LSU reacting to his zone, both Floyd and the hitters. And there was one absolute retaliation strike call, and it was in the 5th inning against Tommy White. When White singled in the 3rd, if you remember, he thought he walked and kind of reacted, came back and then singled. Or no, he pumped a double actually, if you remember. So, was it a single or a double? Hang on, let me get. I'm sorry. It was in the 3rd inning. White singled, so it was a single. But that was when Pearson scored. So that's right. White singled, but got to second on the error in the outfield. The center fielder let the ball get past him, and so White went to second. So he did end up at second, but it was on an error. But it was a single and then advanced second on error. Anyway, but if you remember, it was 3-1. It was 3-0 when White thought he walked. They called a strike, and White reacted to it. Anyway, his next time up in the 5th, if you remember, similar thing happened, and he thought he had a ball called a strike, and he reacted to it again, and the next pitch was a foot off the plate, and the ump called it a strike. And that was a retaliation strike. And that's the kind of thing, in my opinion, that can't happen. That was in the 5th. And then in the 6th is when we saw Floyd get squeezed. So I have a problem with that. It's one of the reasons I want robo-umps. I want K-zone, because I can't have on that stage that guy getting his feelings hurt and squeezing a pitcher in the biggest game of the season. So anyway, okay, let's say some good mornings here. Thanks for being here, y'all. If you're on YouTube, please smash the like button. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Becky Herrod, good morning. Kelly Groves, Deborah Coward, good morning, y'all. Trey Potan, David Tolson. David said, I didn't get to see the game, but did the strike zone get crazy? So in the 6th inning, remember the context here. So Ty Floyd is cruising. 5 innings of shutout ball. He's allowed 1 hit at this point. And he's got 10 strikeouts. So he's cruising through 5. So just for the frame of reference, right? So then to start the 6th, LSU's up 2-0. Ty Floyd's back on the mound. He's at like 80 pitches. He's cruising. And the top of the order is up. Hawk is up. The little short guy, the right-handed hitter, short guy, long blonde hair. And Floyd starts him off, fouls 1 off, then throws a called strike. So it's 0-2. Like, Floyd, who is cruising, has this kid down 0-2 and snaps a breaking ball, which looks like it paints the outside corner, and the ump calls it a ball. And from that point on, Floyd didn't recover. Hawk comes back and works a walk. And then Floyd, he's a stolen base threat. So Floyd is trying to keep him on, and he throws the pickoff attempt into right field. And so now you got a runner on second. And then on 4 straight pitches, Floyd walks Bennett. So he completely got out of sorts as a result of that. And then he just never got it back. They came for a mound visit with Kurtz coming up, who's the 3-hole. The guy's got 24 homers on the year. And he started him off 3-0. And that's whenever they were saying, hey, you got to get him mid-count. But they let him finish pitching to Kurtz, finish the AB. Remember, Floyd had faced Kurtz twice, and Kurtz was 0-2 with 2 strikeouts. So I can kind of understand Jay saying, hey, look, settle down. This is your guy. You've got him. You struck him out twice. Stick to the plan. And he walked him. So he's walked the bases loaded. They come get Thatcher Hurd, and Hurd gives up the single up the middle to Wilkin. So that's where it unraveled. I'm not going to tell you the whole game was atrocious from the umpire, but the 6th inning, he squeezed Ty Floyd and subsequently Thatcher Hurd, because whenever you start to, as an umpire, I'm certain when he starts to hear all of the complaining, it's a snowball effect. And it snowballed in LSU in the 6th. Charlie H., good morning. Kobe Walker, good morning. Do you think LSU has the pitching to win it? To win today? They could win today, but I don't think they have enough to get through and win the national championship, no. Trivia Carter, good morning. I'm here, but I'm not here. Samuel Smith, the lefty for Wake, had an 89-mile-an-hour cutter and moved a 1.5 foot. He was the real deal. It's funny, Samuel, and I feel a little bad about it because I called somebody an idiot last night on the postgame show. Actually, I think what I said is you're stupid. Not you. There was a guy on the postgame show who was adamant. He's like, that guy from Wake stunk. He was a junk ball in midweek lefty. And I was like, you are stupid. That guy was a second-team All-American. He was first-team All-ACC. He was a Golden Spike semifinalist. He struck out 130 batters in 96 innings pitched. He's the Wake Forest single-season strikeout leader now. He's got a 2.8 ERA, and he handcuffed one of the best offenses in America for 6 innings. You think he's a junk ball? Like, I just went off on this guy. I feel a little bad about calling him stupid. I shouldn't have done that. But, I mean, yes. Like, Josh Hartwell's a very good pitcher. He was awesome. I mean, 92-mile-an-hour fastball from the left side, 6'5", a slider that runs across the plate. He was really good. He was really good. Justin Franks, Cruz, Joe Bear, Travinsky, Thompson disappointing at the plate. 0 for 15, 1 walk combined for 10 strikeouts. Yeah, man. Faced a really good pitcher. And when you had your opportunities against him, you didn't come through. Now, we'll say the one thing where you were just kind of unlucky is in the sixth, before everything unraveled. You're up 2-0. With 1 out, Beloso singled to right field. And then Dugas struck out. So you've got 1 on, 2 out, and Joe Bear up. And Joe Bear pumped one to right center. And if y'all were listening to Jimmy Ott before the game on AFR, he was in the stadium at it was about an hour, a little more than an hour, less than an hour before first pitch. And Jimmy said, man, nobody's getting 1 out to right center today. He said that wind coming off the river behind the wall is just for the first time in this tournament is whipping in from right field or from toward right center. And if you're going to get 1 out to right center today, it is going to have to be a missile. And Joe Bear hit one that he pumped it, man. And it ended, the wind knocked it down, and it ended up being a warning track fly. And right there, if that gets out, you're up 4-0, and you have a dramatically different feeling in the game. Because literally that was the 3rd out at the top of the 6th, and you went into the bottom of the 6th, and that's when the chaos happened. So, man, baseball. That's why we love it, but it's also agonizing on days like that. Matt Lusto, good morning. Pat Usman, good morning. Wendell Norman, Juan, good morning. Casey Mosers, the reason I gave up on humanity, I now welcome robot built by Skynet. Dominique Cottrell, good morning. Are you nervous about elimination game against the Vols? Yeah, I mean, for sure. You know, look, the pitching advantage is squarely with Tennessee. LSU has used its 3 best arms. Skeens, Floyd, and Herrod are not available today. Those are your 3 best arms. So you're going into an elimination game, and Tennessee's going to throw Drew Beam, who was SEC Freshman of the Year last season and has been a member of their rotation all year, for 2 years now. Drew Beam's a really good pitcher. I mean, it is a sizable advantage to Tennessee. Tennessee won a game yesterday. You lost a game yesterday. Emotionally, you're in 2 different places. So, you know, how does LSU respond? We'll see. All right, Kirk Taylor, what's going on, man? Samuel Smith, Matt, were people really complaining about the pitching last night? 6 people had no hits in our lineup. But look, that was both ways. There were people complaining about the pitcher. And again, that goes back to the echo chamber narrative of the bullpen stinks, whatever. Your 2 pitchers combined to allow 3 runs on 5 hits to the consensus number 1 team in America. Your pitching wasn't a problem. The walks in the 6th inning were disappointing, but you had an opportunity to break through in the 8th with 1st and 3rd and nobody out, and you didn't get a run home. Now, for what it's worth, I did say on the postgame show that, you know, I don't know why Morgan took off for home. Well, Jay Johnson did explain it in the postgame. He said that was they called it like red, which means go on contact. So Morgan was told in that spot, go on contact. And the explanation that Jay gave was, you know, you want to make them make a throw toward home, because if he doesn't, then it's a double play and you got a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. Meaning, if Morgan retreats to third base, the third baseman tries to turn 2. So Wilkin throws to second. Then with Beloso running, there's a chance they could get the double play. Now, Wilkin fielded that ball darn near in foul territory. I don't know that they're turning 2 on that play, and especially with uh, with a runner going into second base with the possibility of breaking up the double play. Remember, that's Travinsky had gotten on the fielding error, and they pinch ran Merrifield. So I don't know that he's even getting Merrifield at second base. So I do understand Jay's point of view is to say, look, if you got to break for home because it's a really hard play at home. He could hit Morgan with the ball. He could skip the ball. Like it's a really tough throw and tag, from foul territory. It was a tough play, and it was bang bang, and Morgan was still almost safe. I mean, think about how close that was. I don't know. I do. And Jay said it also in the post game. Is that he's like, that might have been the first time all season Cade Beloso's hit a ball at first base. He's probably right. I mean, Cade can hit the whole field. He's a very good hitter, but by and large, his power is he's a dead pull hitter. That's why teams generally shift against him. Someone just said Jay expected Cade to pull the ball. We all expect Cade to pull the ball. He's pretty much, I don't want to call him a dead pull hitter, but by and large this year he has been. But that's also, if you hit a ground ball, I mean, that's the whole thing with running the bases. If the ball is hit behind you, go. If it's hit in front of you, wait. So Trey Morgan standing on third base and the ball is hit to third, generally wait. So anyway. It's a bummer. So I do understand the logic, but I also hardly think that you can assume the double play on that ground ball. And in that moment, all right. A couple more minutes here. Do me a favor, please smash the like button. Subscribe up to the channel. Earl said it was a bad slide by Morgan. Morgan even said after the game he was trying to go wide to try to force a throw around him. I don't have a problem with what Morgan did. If he made one mistake, it was his right leg coming up instead of laying out, but he would have had to Superman. Actually, it was a great slide by Morgan to avoid the tag initially, because it would have been very easy because the ball was waiting on him, and it would have been very easy for him to slide into the tag, but he didn't. He kind of went over it, but his knee came up as a result. I don't have any problem with the slide. I thought that was a great effort. Brandon Miller, who do we start on the bump today? Yeah, again, I think they're going to start Riley Cooper. I don't have any knowledge. I've asked everybody I know close to the program, and Jay is playing everything close to the vest. But I think they're going to start Cooper and have Guidry next, or start Guidry and have Cooper next. But you have to ask yourself this question. You don't have Skeens, Floyd, or Hurd available. Who is the pitcher that Jay Johnson trusts the most? You have got to win or your season is over. Who does Jay trust? Do you go with Riley Cooper, who's been to Omaha before and is a fourth-year guy and is a veteran and all that sort of stuff? Or do you go with the freshman and Gavin Guidry? I know some of y'all probably mentioned Javen Coleman, but remember, Coleman hasn't pitched since the SEC tournament. I think you'd probably see Coleman tomorrow if you get there, and probably not even start. Maybe you could start, but I think if you get to tomorrow, you're probably starting Blake Money. If you get to tomorrow. But again, I think Riley Cooper starts today. And David there said Cooper, Herring, Guidry. I don't think it's Herring. Remember, I think it's Ackenhausen would be next. I think your three. You're going to throw your three best available, and your three best available are Cooper, Ackenhouse, and Guidry in whatever order. But I don't think you're seeing Griffin Herring today. Let me put an asterisk there. If whoever starts can't get an out, then you may quickly cycle through pitchers and he could be on the mound. But if things go according to plan, let's say you start Cooper and he gives you 4 innings, and then you could go to Ackenhausen, who can give you 2 or 3 innings, and then Guidry can get you home. That's like a best case scenario. Let's see, Joey Metke, good morning. Charlie H, I hope we don't have to put Christian Little in. Yeah, I don't see a scenario where Little pitches. I mean, I've said this for weeks, y'all. Weeks and weeks and weeks. Remember, like by the time you get to the postseason, you're generally down to 6 arms. It's like 6 arms that you trust. And you know the 6 for LSU. It's Skeens, Floyd, Hurd, Cooper, Ackenhouse, and Guidry. Those are your 6. And beyond that, if you need 2 more, Herring, Coleman could also pitch for you, but really you're down to those 6. And then, you want to talk about guys like Money or Dutton or Little. Those are guys that if you're up 10 or down 10, you put them in. When LSU was playing Kentucky and they were up 14-3 or whatever it is, you put Blake Money in to finish the game. So as not to use one of your better arms in that spot. So Wayne Parker, Skeens tomorrow on 4 days rest. Skeens would not be on 4 days rest tomorrow. Remember, like when you count, you're counting days off. So he threw on Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is Tuesday today would be his 3rd day of rest. So he pitched tomorrow on the 4th day. They're not throwing him on 3 days rest. Like in the big leagues where they throw every 5th day, throwing a pitcher on 3 days rest is extreme. After throwing 123 pitches on Saturday, there's no way they're running Paul Skeens out there tomorrow. So if you win today, you've got to win tomorrow. And then you could bring Skeens back conceivably on Thursday on 4 days rest for something. It wouldn't be a full start, but you could get something out of Skeens on 4 days rest on Thursday. But that is, Wayne, the earliest you would see Paul Skeens. Right. PTG Toasty. I don't like to be a Debbie Downer, but this got so much harder. Yeah, I mean, I think they flashed the graphic on Saturday. I think, what is it, 27 of the last 32 World Series champions have started 2-0. It's just, this format, it is so hard to win when you don't win your first 2 games. And especially now that they've shrunken the tournament to where the championship series is now Saturday, Sunday, Monday instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They've taken out 2 rest days. So anyway. Reed Rule said Cruz disappearing in Omaha is so disappointing. Cruz had 2 hits the first game. What are you talking about? I think he was on base. I think he was 2 for 5. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, he was 2 for 5 with a run scored. What are you talking about? Anyway. Okay. All right, I got to go. It's 8:02. I got to get Drew up and get him ready for school. Thanks for watching, y'all. Disappointing day. Obviously, we'll be back for AFR. I'll get you an LSU Daily post. I'm going to work out, and then I'll get LSU Daily posted. I suspect it'll be much of the same here. But anyway, okay, y'all have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for AFR 3. Peace.